Kit Harington did a convention where he talked about his new role in the MCU, but I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about the Game of Thrones stuff he said at the convention. If you want to hear about his MCU stuff, you can check out my sci-fi fantasy news video. Sorry. Okay, so first let's start off with Kit is still upset HBO did not give him Longclaw, and he's now going to make a replica of it and then sue HBO for the bill. He said, "I didn't get the sword, so now I'm going to have to call the armorer, and I'm getting my own exact replica made. I'm gonna bill HBO. I'm gonna sue them. I'm looking forward to seeing that case make its way through the courts." I mean, he got the gloves, he got a little bit of the armor, and he got a giant-ass statue of himself from the Winterfell Crypts teaser for the final season, so, Kit, you're just being greedy. Kit Harington also shared his favorite scene with Emilia Clarke as Dany, obviously. And it was actually the scene where they met each other for the first time in The Queen's Justice. What was really exciting was that very first scene where Jon walks into the Dragonstone throne room and sees her for the first time. And this isn't a world where you have Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. He's never seen this woman before, but he's heard about her, the Dragon Queen. For us, me and Emilia, it was really exciting, because we had been friends for 6 years and seen each other's work, but never got to meet. So there was a lot of hype that day on set, and I thought it was just a beautiful scene. They're testing the waters with each other. Instantly, you can see there's some attraction, but they've got their own agenda. I don't know if I'd say I noticed they had an instant attraction for each other. I don't think I really ever believed Jon was into Dany. I believe Dany was into Jon, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe you saw that instant attraction. I didn't. But we know Emilia has also talked about how she really enjoyed being friends with certain actors and then years later getting to meet those characters for the first time as her character. Sadly, Kit also talked about the struggles of playing Jon Snow and how he doesn't believe he's as good of a person as Jon is. So he shared, "One of the struggles about playing Jon was that I was always playing someone who was a better person than me. He's good to the core, he's loyal, he's brave, he's honest, he's truthful to his very core. Playing alongside a character like that for 10 years of your life is somewhat intimidating. I can only hope that some of him does live on in me, or that I learned something from him. It's only now I'm realizing that I loved him dearly as a person, and I really enjoyed playing him." I mean, that's because they whitewashed your character in the show, Kit. Read the books. Jon is not as perfect, and he makes a lot of mistakes, and he does some pretty selfish things that lead up to the Night's Watch and friends Stabby deathing him. Lastly, Kit talked about his relationship with his Stark siblings, first talking about how Sophie talks too damn much about him and styling his hair. He said, "Sophie Turner needs to just shush every now and then. I love that girl to my very bones. The thing about Sophie, Maisie, Isaac, and me is that we were together for so long. Richard was definitely in that too. We became like actual siblings. We would literally fight each other. We got a very sibling relationship as kids." But on Richard, he also talked about how emotional it was to say goodbye to him all those years ago, sharing, "It was emotional saying goodbye to him in Thrones all those years ago, because even 3 years in, when he left the show, something really did shift and the show became something else. There was a marker where losing Richard really changed the show, and some of my fondest memories of Game of Thrones are with Richard Madden. He's a wonderful man, and he's still one of my very, very good friends." I don't know about you, but I love seeing all the actors that are good friends with each other outside of Game of Thrones and that they still hang out with each other. I don't know, that's just endearing to me. Okay, so that's what I consider to be the most important things that Kit Harington shared about Game of Thrones at the convention this past week. I'm sure he shared a bunch of other little things, but I didn't want to go on too much. So like, subscribe, and come back for more videos.